Hello, today on Rebrickable we will look at set inventories and how to track different part information on the site. Regular set inventories are located below the sliding set images on the Inventory tab. Default view has a reference image, a quantity, and a part number. There are display options to customize how you see this information. If the prices are distracting, you can turn those off. You can also highlight different groups of parts. For example, highlight missing parts based on your collection. Highlight parts that you do own, again based on your collection. Combining those will show each part relative to what you own. A green box means you have that part in the required quantity. A red box means you don't have any of that part. And a yellow box means you have a few of that part but not in the required quantity. If you want to focus on one group or the other, you can hide missing parts and look at only parts that you do own. Or you can hide parts that you own and only look at parts that you are missing for a given set inventory. There is a group for minifigs below the parts group. This will show any minifigs that are in the set. Hovering over a minifig will show the components in that minifig as parts. And the last group is the spare parts in the set. Most of the time, these smaller pieces are included as spares. Just in case you lose some, you'll still be able to finish building the set from Lego. Once you have set your preferences in terms of which information is shown, you can save a default inventory setting to your profile. And if your account is associated with a pro plan, you have an additional option of viewing large, medium, or small part tiles. Another thing to keep an eye out for in set inventories is multiple versions. There is a warning box that pops up for each set that has multiple inventories. If you are viewing the later version, you can do a comparison to the earlier version and see a summary of what is different between the two sets. Taking a look at the part numbers, we can see that these three parts were updated from an older mold to a newer mold. And if you click through to see full part details, there's usually a comparison picture that shows the difference. Besides having different part molds, sets with different inventories might be due to a color change. In this example, the Star Destroyer was produced both during the period Lego produced the old light gray color and the new light gray color. And so some sets use the old light gray, some sets use the new light gray, and there are different inventories for each set depending on which color was used. If you've decided to focus in on certain missing pieces that you'd like to try to gather and build a certain set, there is a helpful checklist mode that you can use to check off when pieces have been gathered or located. Here in the set inventory, there is not as much functionality tied to the checklist mode, but if you create a custom list with these parts, there's a little bit more that you can do. The fastest way to do that is to use the build function. And again, this list will show the missing pieces that are not in your collection but remain to build the selected set. Now you can add missing parts to a list. It is probably a good idea to set up a custom list for this so that the parts will not accidentally be used in a build calculation. Add all parts. To access your custom list, you can go to My Lego, My Custom List, and select it from the left. Now we have a custom list that is set up like a parts list. We have the bulk edit feature, which again gives us the checkboxes. But now if we have certain items selected and checked, you have additional options to edit, copy, move, or delete. So for example, if you're going through your collection and checking off pieces that you do have on hand, once they have been selected, you can remove them from the list. You can also further customize the contents of this list by using the part pop-up. Here you can change the color, change the quantity, and change other parts in the list as well. And that will edit the part within this list. This can be done at the individual level with the pop-up, or if you'd like to change multiple parts, they can be done with the bulk edit tool. When you have things fine-tuned on Rebrickable and you're ready to export, there are export options to create CSV, XML, brick store, LCAD parts bin, or of course a table or a grid that can be printed. All of your display options remain here as well.